What's up, everybody? Aditya Mahajan here, and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. So, you guys did it. You guys reached the target. I mean, I lowered the limit for subscriber count, but anyways. So, as I promised, I'll be covering the remaining questions that were asked during the round two of Raja Software Labs, that is the programming round. And if you have not watched the previous video, I will give the link at the top. You can check what things will be covered, what types of questions, what is the platform, what would be the level of questions, timing, etc. In that video, I even covered one of the questions there. So let's get right into it, and we'll be looking at the remaining questions. Before we start looking at the question, I also want to make sure that you understand that there may have been repeated questions for MCQ round, that is the round one, but I'm definitely sure that the programming round, they change the questions every year, at least the variations of it. So make sure you understand the concept behind the question and not directly muck up the question. Okay, so that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, let's get started in the reverse order. So the first question that we have is, very simple. So they are asking us to write a function that takes array of numbers as input parameters and print the numbers that have remainder of 4 when divided by 5. It's pretty simple question. So we are given an input of array and we need to print those numbers. So if we divide every number by 5 and we need to print the numbers which give output as a reminder as 4 when we divide it by 5. So the output would be 19, 44, 129. So this is the main function. They sometimes give a structure of what function should look like, but in this case they did not give it. So we'll just create a main function to create a temporary array with the inputs that they were taken. So you can take first and second example or anything that works. And I've created a wrapper function called as FUNC, which takes an input parameter of a vector, which is an array. And what I'm doing here is I'm just iterating over each element of the array. So this auto would take an int because every element of the array is an integer. Now for every element, what we are doing is we are taking a mod with 5, and if the remainder is 4, in that case we are just printing that. That's it. That's the first question. Very simple, very easy. Moving on to the next question, that is the fourth question. They have asked that write a function that takes an array of integers as input and prints the second maximum difference between any two elements from an array. Now they will give you an input array and they will ask you the second maximum difference. So the largest difference that can be created from any of these numbers is taking the largest and taking the smallest number, right? So if you do that, you can have 95 minus 12 is 83. Similarly, the second max difference that would come up is 95 minus 14 is 81. Now here I've taken a brute force solution. So let's discuss the brute force first. That is, I've taken the array vector, created a wrapper function diff, which would basically give us the answer, and I'm printing the answer. Now, what that diff would do is it would basically create a different vector which would have all the differences and will keep on subtracting every two numbers and push that element to that. Okay, so we can do like take the array size and iterate for all the elements in that array. And while iterating, what we'll do is we'll put two for loops, one for each number, and take the difference between those two and push that into the diffs. Then we can sort it and we can return the second element. So rather than that, what you can do is you can just loop through that diffs vector and find two largest and second largest and return the second largest number. That also you could do to optimize this a little bit more. And the most optimized would be like you would basically need just 4 numbers, that is the largest, top two largest and top two smallest numbers, and then you can find the 4 possibilities, or take the possibilities from those and you can just return that output. Okay, so that would be the most optimized approach. But brute force would also, I think they would accept that solution as well. Okay, moving on to the third question. What they have mentioned here is that we need to write a program to print the frequency of these characters. They have given some characters in a given string and also print the total count of these characters. Now they have mentioned to ignore the character case, it could be lower or upper. Now here, if you look, they have given the function structure, how it should look, what is the input and what is the output. So it will take one parameter, which will be a string. You do not have to write the code to get the input parameters from the user. You can also choose to take a character array as the input parameter instead of string if you like. Okay, so they are saying that you can take an array of characters also. And the function structure should be like this. One of the input and output they have given is like if the string is Raja Software Labs, then we have B, F, J, and B, F, and J. B's minute number. Okay, so let's get started with the solution. So here I have taken one main function just so that you should be able to execute it. You can try executing this. So they have given that we would be given an input string and we need to give out the number of characters that are present. Okay, so I've created a simple map which would basically have the chars of the ones that we are mentioned that we need to count, and then the second element of that pair of every element would be an int, which would basically be the count. Okay, so this total is the one thing because we need to output the total number of characters that are present of our given type. So this is that variable. And what we are doing here is we are checking if the we are iterating through the string for every character, and for every character we are checking that if it is from the given characters that we have. Okay. Oh, so one thing I forgot here is to make this to lowercase. You can use any pre-default function of std. So make sure you do this to lowercase, because otherwise what would happen in this solution is that it would take capital B and small b to be different. Okay, so I forgot that. So you can do that, and once you make it to lowercase, you should be good with that. And you are just incrementing the count of whatever character you encounter. Okay. After, and also incrementing the total count because we have found the character that we need. After that, we are just printing, iterating through the map so that we print the character, what is the present and what is the total count of how many times that character is coming up. Now, once that is done, we are just printing the total and we are just returning. That's the frequency question that we have. So yeah, I mean, you were the last question, right? So if you are the last question, I'll be putting it on Discord. So make sure you join the Discord server. I'll give the link in the description, and hope you understood these questions. If you have any doubt, uh, ask me on Discord server, or you can also put a comment down below. So yeah, that's all. Make sure if you understood and if you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you need more such content, subscribe to the channel. And that's all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.